Ah, the good old days. You remember those, Phil? Of course I remember those good old days, Johnny. When we used to toss around the pigskin in the backyard. Ah yeah, Phil, tossing around the pigskin, a good one to bring up. You remember that one time we did that one stupid thing? Of course I remember that, Johnny, that one dumb thing. Yeah, that one dumb thing. Those are some good old times. This is NotAVlog, and being stuck in the past is no place to be. Intro. Look at this graph! I have struggled with moving forward in my life for a long time. Whether it was going through school or finding a job, it would always feel very, very slow. To the point it would feel like I was stuck. It wasn't until recently that I found that moving forward doesn't even feel like anything to you personally, but it affects others in your close proximity. I noticed it first with family, because family is very traditional and is not one to break the status quo. And whenever you break the status quo or the tradition, you tend to get backlash. Been there, got the t-shirt. Don't even get me started on friends. They can sometimes be worse than family. The hardest part about moving forward personally is that your friends can no longer take priority in your life like they did before. You start getting newer and newer responsibilities. The things that you once were doing are not the same as what they are doing at the moment, and that's what tends to create that fallout that everybody complains about after high school. All I know is it sucks. The fun that you had doing whatever you wanted before now has gone away, and then your life starts from an entirely new point. But the life that you had continues to go on, just with less of you in it. I began to notice the pushback from my friends very early on in this stage of life, and their disapproval spoke volumes. And honestly, it was the only indicator that I was moving forward, because to me, it felt like I was standing still or maybe even going backward. This point in life became very confusing because I would go hang out with my friends and we would do stuff that we would normally do back in like high school. We'd play video games, we would eat junk food, we would joke around and have fun. And to me, it always felt like we were reminiscing. It would constantly feel like we were bringing up the past and living in the past as opposed to moving forward. And I felt stuck. I didn't fully get what that meant at first, but as I grew and got older, I realized that it was the feeling of forward progress actually manifesting and essentially telling me that you can't have that old life back. You can't go back to that. Like I said in my past video about God testing people, that we can take the test as many times as we want, or as many times as we need in order to pass. And this test was no different. The choice to step into something new can be scary, and it can also hurt and be extremely lonely. But when God allowed me to feel the manifestation of my forward progress, and whenever he shows us the truth about our situation, he's essentially saying that he has something better planned for us, but we can't accept that until we move on. We can either choose to ignore it or accept the call. It's a hard choice, and it's one that many people do not take seriously when they're presented with it. The excuse that many people give is that it is just a dream and it's some far-off, distant fantasy. Psh, dreams don't come true. So people end up settling for a nightmare. What could be so bad that you wouldn't want to take the first step to possibly living out your dream? The worst thing that could happen is that you find out that it's not as glamorous as you thought it was going to be. But the best thing that could happen is that you find out you love it, and then you actually get to do that thing for the rest of your life. So instead of focusing constantly on the great times that you had in the past, why not focus on things that you could have in the future if you just take the steps and move forward? Stay blessed.